Hey everyone, so my name is Leon, and today we're going to do episode 19 of Big Brother 23. So a lot of interesting things we could talk about in this episode. I didn't get the chance to do a recap of Big Brother 23 episode 18, so I'm going to do a little bit of episode 18, a brief episode 18 recap too in here at the beginning. But with that being said, let's just get started. So I didn't get a chance to see 18, but in episode 18, basically, they talk about Kylan putting up Claire and Big D on the block, aka Derek Frazier. So piss him off. We see the OTEF Beetle coming back. There was remember the twist that is gonna be played out for the next 3 weeks, where if you win BB Bucks, you get to gamble on a power, and if you are able to win the banners for that week, it can help benefit your game. So the banners for this week is if you are able to register some points in the game for the twist this week, you get to register somebody winning the Beetle. So there was 2 Beetles potentially be given out. So Alyssa and Kylan are the Beetle winners. So Alyssa decides to not use her Beetle, and Kylan decides to use his Beetle to save Claire so he can backdoor Brittany. And by the way, Alyssa won OTEV, by the way, and Kylan bet on Alyssa winning it. So it was smart in his move to bet on Alyssa. Then when him and Alyssa were the last two, he decided to throw her. Good move by him. Good strategy. I think he could do a little better because he did piss off some people in the house. I will say this. Kylan, this HOH week for him has been kind of But we'll talk more about it as we get into episode 19. Just know in episode 18, the final nominees. Well, actually, no. Episode 18 had a cliffhanger again. So episode 19 is when we figure out the final nominees. Well, what does happen is Kylan saves Claire from the block, puts up Brittany, and there we have it. It's going to be Brittany going home against Big D. Unfortunately for Brittany, yeah, she has some allies. Her close allies is from the Joker's twist in the earlier the season. She has Big D and she has Azza, but unfortunately for them, unfortunately for her, Big D is somebody who's working with the Cookout. Same with Azza, also somebody working in the Cookout Alliance. So they have the numbers. If Azza or Big D sit next to Brittany or any of the Cookout members like Kylan, Xavier, Tiffany, and Hannah sit next to somebody like Brittany, Brittany just doesn't have the numbers to stay. So it's unfortunate. I don't want to see Brittany go home, but Brittany hasn't really done much in the game other than being nominated for the block and being a pawn for a variety of, HOH is like Xavier and Kylan. So we'll see where it goes. Now I'm going to episode 19. So the fallout from this Brittany being renommed is obviously she gets upset at Kylan for renominating her. She says that, Kylan broke his word to her, but unfortunately for Brittany, she hasn't, won any comps yet. Yes, she has allies in Big D and Azza, but she has to go up there and win the comps, or else she's going to be nominated for a bitch. She won't go home right away, but she's going to be somebody who's going to be nominated. So it's unfortunate. It sucks. It really sucks because, I think Brittany is a fine person, but she hasn't really done much in the game up to this point. Then, attach herself to Big D, aka Derek F, and Azza. So you see people like Derek X and people like Claire want to try to keep her, but unfortunately they don't have the numbers to do so. And especially with Tiffany and Hannah being part of the Cookout, wanting to do things in their own interest, they don't have any reason. They don't have any reason to keep her right now. So I think it's really smart for Hannah and Tiffany and Xavier and Kylan to keep Big D and Azza too, to keep Big D for now, so that way they can keep the numbers for the Cookout Alliance. But anywho, the votes happen with Azza giving sympathy vote to Brittany. Brittany goes home 7-1. She seems to be happy. Speaking Julie, so I assume she's okay. And then finally, the HOH competition happens, and it's kind of like a balancing beam kind of competition that you see. Something similar to Big Brother 19 where Cody won, I think, or something similar to one of the wildcard comps where I think Tiffany and Derek X teamed up with Brittany, ironically, and Tiffany won the comp. So Yeah. Anyways, Sarah Beth is a new HOH. I think that's interesting to say at least. We know Kylan's safe, but we don't know who would her targets be. So yeah, this will be we're in for a good episode. So yeah. I guess that's it for now for the recap. Thank you guys for watching. More recaps coming soon and adios.